Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare, but more about that later on in the video.
Hello everyone, I am using a new camera with new hair. I got it cut yesterday because in England the lockdown has started to ease. Shops are open, hairdressers are open, salons, spas, everything. So I had my hair done yesterday at a place called Beachcombers in St Ives because they are like sustainable, vegan, cruelty free. And I also had acupuncture for the first time for sort of stress and anxiety relief. And I'll talk to you about that maybe in another video, but it was amazing. And I feel like a new person. I'm definitely going to touch my hair a lot. I don't know, a lot of you find that very annoying, but it feels very silky and smooth. I feel like I look like a different person. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder. Maybe I look I feel like I look like my younger self because I used to straighten my hair all the time when I was younger. But today I'm going to answer some of your questions because a lot of you had questions on our Cornish cottage about the house. I asked you if you had any questions. So I thought I'd vlog today because it's been a while since I vlogged last and answer some of those and do my skincare because I need to wash my face, put some sun cream on, and I'll show you the stuff I'm using. I find skincare over the last year has been such a big form of self-care for me and something that's really like calmed me down, and it sandwiches my day with something that gets me up in the morning and makes me feel like I'm ready, and it's something at the end of the day that sort of slows me down and makes me realise it's time for bed. Some simple rituals like that I feel like are sometimes the make or break between whether you have a good day or whether you have a bad day. If I'm not having a good day, I won't want to do my skincare, but if I just go, do you know what, Maddie, you've woken up in a bad mood, but do your skincare, it changes things. So strange, but I don't know, do any of you have that same experience? I'm just going to whack my hair up so I can actually wash my face. I also got a new camera. It's a Canon M50 Mark II, I think. I'll leave it down below in case you're interested, because we've had the same camera for like 4 or 5 years. It was a Canon 80D that we got second hand with a sort of really cheap sort of wide angle lens that I was using to vlog a lot, and it's great for pictures, great for if you've got it on a tripod, but to use it, you know, for filming and stuff, it's just very heavy and shaky. So this is a bit of an in-between one. It's like smaller and lighter, but it's a bit better than like a G7X. And yeah, I'm really liking it so far. You have to let me know if you like it in this video. The lighting isn't the best right now, so maybe you can't tell, but I'm gonna put some Inculist Salicylic Acid Cleanser. I love the Inculist. And let's get straight into the questions. First question a lot of people asked was, how old is this house? This house is Georgian. So I think the surveyor said it was built in the 1760s, but then it has been renovated in the Victorian times. Like I mentioned, I think in our house tour, the windows on the front are Georgian, and then the windows on the back, well, technically that's the front. The garden's like on the front of the house. But yeah, there's 2 different types of windows, and I think some renovations have definitely been made during the Victorian period. But yeah, I think it's around 1760s, which means it's very, very old. Not as old as our previous house, but still very old. Next, I'm using this very pretty Herbivore Prism, 12% AHA, 3% BHA. What was the #1 feature that made you fall in love with this house? I mentioned this in the tour as well, but definitely the kitchen. I think when we walked in and I saw that kitchen, I knew what it looked like in the photos, but seeing it in person, I was like, this is the kitchen I've been dreaming of. I'm just using the Vitaskin Vitamin C Collagen Boosting Serum for some vitamin C this morning. You all know how much the kitchen is important to me, not just for my own sort of enjoyment and hobby, but for my job and just it being the hub of the house. I loved all the character, but I loved the size of it, the windows, the island, definitely what made me fall in love with the house, but also the garden and the way that the house looks from the outside. Literally had houses exactly the same as this house on my Pinterest under a board called Dream House, and it's that double fronted, very Georgian, very classic, just country home. I had so many of those pinned to my Pinterest, and then when I saw this I was like, that is literally my dream home. How? I'm just going to put this Botanics 100% organic with rose water refreshing toning spritz. I am obsessed with rose water. It's probably like the one skincare thing that I've done. for like the last 6-7 years. Always love rose water. This is a really good question. How do you keep yourself from getting overwhelmed with the projects you'll face? I had to make a really big decision when we moved because I was getting overwhelmed. Next I'm using this Volition Celery Green Cream with hyaluronic acid. It's like a nice sort of gel moisturiser. I think I mentioned this, that I was getting kind of like full steam ahead into, oh, we're going to renovate, we're going to do this, that and the other. And I actually had to stop myself. I had to say to myself, you're doing what you've done for a very long time, and that's rushing and pushing ahead, which is a huge part of my anxiety. Anxiety is a lot about fearing the future, and sometimes that can translate as wanting to constantly live in the future and plan for the future and think about what things you're going to change and things you're going to do and how it's going to make everything better. And I was putting that on the renovations, and I had to realise, you know, we've just moved in. At that point when I was thinking about renovating, I was ringing architects, I was ringing electricians, plumbers, all of it. I hadn't even fully unpacked yet. And I had to have a moment with myself and I was like, Maddie, slow down. You did this before and it made you stressed. So don't get yourself in that pickle again. You want to enjoy being here, enjoy living here, get to know the house, do the essentials. Obviously we've booked all the essential things like having a plumber around, electrician around, checking things are safe, etc. Doing things that are needed with the garden or what other things in the house. But plan your renovations, take your time, don't compare yourself to the speed that other people maybe do things, because we want to live here for a really long time. So if you're feeling the overwhelming feeling of, oh my gosh, I need to rush, try and slow down, because I think that a lot of this world is always trying to rush, and it means that you feel that everything has to be rushed. I follow a lot of interior accounts and I get stressed that everyone else does everything really, really quickly. But do you know what? They're in a different place. Maybe that's something that makes them really, really happy and that works for them, but it doesn't necessarily have to work for you. So just, you know, slow down, remind yourself that it doesn't have to be done quickly and you can take your time and take it easy. And do you know what? I'm starting to now feel a bit more like I'm actually wanting to get excited for renovating rather than it feeling like it's like this overwhelming, scary thing now. So I'm going to actually start planning things bit by bit, but very, very slowly. So I'm going to focus on the kitchen and this bathroom because they are more like necessities, and our garage roof that needs fixing because it's leaking. And the rest will just fall into place. So that's my advice. I'm just using the Body Shop Skin Defense SPF 50 and rubbing it all over my face. And then that's my skincare for the day done. Don't forget your SPF, kids. I've learnt that from all the skincare people online. Thanks. You're gonna save my skin when I'm older. I used to only put SPF on if I was going out in the sun, but now I wear it every day. So, yeah.
I just wanted to take a moment to quickly talk to you about today's sponsor, Skillshare. If you don't know what Skillshare is, it is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey, with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and so much more. I've been using Skillshare for years now, and I really love the combination of video lessons as well as class projects that they have. It's really easy to fit it into your schedule, as most of the classes are under 60 minutes, which I personally find perfect, plus your skill level. There are classes I've taken in the past that have been completely new to me, and also things that I've wanted to just expand my knowledge of. As a member, you get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes and feedback from a community of millions. As a YouTuber, I'm always looking to improve my content. So this video about YouTube success, scripting, shooting and editing, I found really, really useful and helpful. Sometimes I need a good reminder on how to plan my videos properly. And I think it's great to always be thinking about how you can improve your craft and get better at your own job, which is why I love Skillshare for this reason. There are endless endless classes on every single topic. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes. So you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. It's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. So if you want to check Skillshare out, I'll leave a link down below, and the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. Honestly, you can't miss out. Go give it a go. Highly, highly recommend.
Just come into my dressing room to put some makeup on. I'll show you what I'm going to use so I don't have to keep on telling you and interrupting myself. This Purito Seeker Clearing BB Cream in light beige. I think this is probably one of my favourite tinted moisturisers I've ever owned. It is so good. Really like it. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use some Innica Organic Concealer. This is like my favourite concealer. Used it for years. This Pixie On The Go blush stick cream blush. My Bare Minerals Strength and Length Serum Infused Brow Gel. This is amazing. I really, really like this. It's kind of like skincare in the sense that it's like got serum in there. The Bare Minerals Strength and Length Serum Infused Mascara as well. This is also an amazing mascara. And also this Brow Define Eyebrow Pencil from Makeup Academy. And then finally the Bare Minerals bronzer. So I'm just going to whack that on whilst I answer a few more questions, and then we can go downstairs and I can show you some bits that I got from this cute shop in Penzance yesterday. A load of people are asking me where the quilt is from in our bedroom, and I can't tell you because it was left at the house. I don't know if that was by accident or or what. There are a few things that were left here, and that was one of those things, and it doesn't say on the label, so I don't know, but it is very beautiful. Are you planning an extension? So yes, kind of. We're not sure what we're going to do. We have spoken to an architect who has given us some advice, but we haven't like instructed anyone yet or put anything in place, because we do want to think about what we're going to do long term at the house. This is not something that's going to happen anytime soon, but it's, you know, something we've been thinking about, and it will be really exciting to film the process of doing that. There is a part of the house we haven't shown you yet, technically, and you'll see that soon in another video. But we're thinking of changing things because our living room, as cute and cozy and lovely as it is on the smaller side, and we think we could, you know, do something with the space we have. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be a really exciting project that we can do in the future. How many rooms does the house have? Okay, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rooms. You don't count hallways, do you? Yeah, 9 rooms. No, 10 rooms, 10. I got a lot of questions like, did you make back your money on renos from your first home without sharing numbers? Yes, we did. I don't want to go into detail. If you renovate a home, you put money into a home, you'll, you know, hopefully make that money back. Otherwise it's a bit pointless, and we were trying to be sensible about how much money we spent versus the ceiling price of our house. Though it was a small house, so there's a limit to that. So we were very considerate of that. I wouldn't have wanted to spend more than we would have made back. Did you need a big deposit because you're self-employed? It definitely makes a big difference when you're self-employed, and there are a couple of other questions also about our mortgage and whether it was difficult to get one because of being self-employed. We shared in the video where we announced where we were moving the difficulty we had with getting a mortgage, and honestly it was probably the most stressful part of the moving experience. Or no, it was one of the most stressful parts, but it was all very stressful. But yeah, it was more tricky. We were during a time in the pandemic when things were still very, very unsure, and none of the mortgage companies really knew how to predict the future. So taking on new clients or customers or whatever was a tricky thing. And then if you have two people who are both self-employed, who only have a certain amount of years of accounts, you know, there's this worldwide pandemic coming on, and it's unsure of what's happening, then they are going to be more precautious. And we had this issue with Alex's credit score, which wasn't his fault, and there was just so much drama. So just know that you're not alone if you're struggling with a mortgage company, if you're self-employed, if you've got some kind of issue with your credit score, which outside of the pandemic, if you have an issue with the credit score that's like under £100, because it was literally I think it was a £10 thing, they just ignore it because it's usually just a dispute with you and the company. And in our case, it was an issue that was not our fault, it was the company's fault, and Alex had literally done nothing, and it was very frustrating. Reminder to check your credit score and get those sorts of things fixed. And yeah, it just made the whole process more tricky, all those things combined. Also, elements of this house that made it more tricky, the sort of things you have to consider, the type of house you're buying. Some mortgage companies are going to have more questions if it's older, if there's certain things, the way it's laid out, etc. So that process was more tricky, so we did have to put down more of a deposit than we were expecting, and those are just the sort of things you have to consider. I wish they taught you about in school. Is it very rural? Do you live in a village? Have you got neighbours? Yes, we've got neighbours, but yes, it's very, very rural. We used to live in a village. We don't live in a village anymore. I prefer the rural life. It's what I grew up in. I grew up living in the middle of nowhere in a kind of hamlet with just a handful of neighbours, and I always kind of thought that's where I'd want to end up. Maybe I'll change my mind, I don't know, but I would like to stay here forever and be rural because I love being able to hear nothing and be in the quiet, and it's close enough to all of the places that I would want to go that it doesn't feel detached. I just don't think the city life is for me. Right, last thing, the Bare Minerals lipstick in Insight. These are their mineralizing Hydro Smooth lipsticks. Pretty much only use these lipsticks nowadays. So there we go, the finished face. Take the hair down, and I'm gonna have to put a nice outfit on and answer some more questions, and I'll show you some bits that I got as well. Look at how beautiful the weather is though. Sparkling sunshine. And oh my gosh, look at the wisteria. The wisteria is starting to blossom, and it has made me so happy. You can see all of the little buds coming out. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I got this dress yesterday from a vintage shop in Penzance. If I can figure out what the shop's called, I will leave it in the description below, because I think that they have a Depop. I swear I saw on the outside it said, find us on Depop. But it's this really, really cute lemon yellow sort of summer dress. I mean, it's just so, so cute. I'm not gonna wear it today because I want to save it for like a more special, like, you know, when you get something new, I always find when I have something new I want to save the first wear for something really special. So I've got friends coming over for a barbecue next weekend, so I think I'll wear it then, but I'll just find something comfy to throw on today. Please ignore the washing machine if you can hear it. Next question. I would love to know all about your amazing bedding. It looks so comfortable. I'll leave it linked down below. The part that you're most excited to decorate or change. Probably this kitchen. It is perfect as it is. It's gorgeous, I love it. But there are some changes that we want to make that are just gonna make it finished. So we're gonna repaint the walls, build some extra storage, change some of the worktops, spruce the floor up, that kind of thing. So we're not like ripping everything out or knocking walls down or anything crazy. We're just gonna, you know, redecorate essentially, and I cannot wait. It's going to be so exciting, and I feel like it's going to bring some brightness in here as well. Lots of questions about the garden too, and our plans for the garden. Our plans for the garden this year is to take care of it, get rid of a lot of the weeds because it's a bit overgrown in some areas, and just really like get to know the garden, see what comes up, see what plants grow, and also start using the veg beds. Though it is kind of that time of year where we're a bit late, we don't have a greenhouse or like lots of space to grow, you know, like seedlings and do all of that, but we're going to try our best to use the veg beds as much as we can. But there are a lot of them, so I don't want to overwhelm myself because I've never really done it before. So we're going to just take it easy and just get to know our garden. That's my plan for this year, get to know it, and then I'm sure over the years we'll do different things with the garden and change certain things, but I just think the garden is just the most perfect garden and I love it. Oh, actually, we are doing a renovation in the garden in May, so I will document that. It's putting some new fencing up because the fence is broken and Roxy loves to escape. I just wanted to quickly show you some of the things that I got yesterday. Alex has put some of the things away though, so I'm worried I won't be able to find them. I got two of these. I don't know where the other one is. Alex has... Oh, here it is. It's right in front of me. So I got two of these bowls. I've put some apples in this one. These like wooden bowls, and this all came from a shop in Penzance called Circa 21. It's such a lovely shop. Basically, they've got like candles and stuff downstairs and mugs and things, but if you go upstairs, there's loads of things like this and furniture and paintings, and it's just so cute. This is a wicker tray, which I also got there, really cute. I've been using trays a lot more recently because we're having to obviously have people outside. It's great for taking drinks out, food out, that kind of thing. And this wicker one is just so pretty. Also, I feel like for photos, this is gonna look lovely if I ever wanna display anything. I got these bowls as well, which don't have a brand on them, but they were from that same shop, Circa 21. They're like kind of speckled, very neutral, but really love these. I've got lots of white bowls, so I want to build up my collection of ones that are off-white or, you know, different kind of tones, and they'll be great for shots of food. And then I've also got these mugs. I have an obsession with mugs. I can't stop buying them, but then I drink a lot of tea. This is from NB Cornwall, and yeah, this was from the same shop, but it's like got these kind of stripy indents, and this is a really big one and this is a little one. The final thing that I got in the shop is not house related, but it is going to be so perfect for this summer. This is a brand called Chickadee, but yeah, all from the same shop, and it is this amazing wicker bag with these really cute flowers on the front, all kind of embroidered on there. And just imagine this, going for a little picnic, going to the beach. I don't have a wicker basket bag like this, so very excited about this. It's just so pretty and I love it. I really don't have many bags. I've only got one handbag. No, I've got two handbags. I've got one black one and then one like small, I've only got one handbag. That's like a wallet with a strap. So yeah, very happy with this one. It's just so pretty. And I want to show you some other things that I got from my good friend Jasmine. She runs a business called Dandy Floss Dandy Floss Crafts. I wanted to buy some bits from her just to support her because she's been running this business since the start of the pandemic. She lost her job and then she decided to make masks, and then her company blew up on Etsy and she was really successful, and she's been doing it ever since, and I'm just so proud of her, and the stuff she does is really cute, so I thought I would show you in case any of you are after tote bags, masks, that kind of thing. So I've got this tote bag that says Small Business Big Dreams, and it's a gorgeous pink colour, so I'll be taking that on my shopping trips. I got a very apt jumper because I have been a bit stressed recently. I'm not gonna go into it, but I needed a reminder. So this says stress less, and she prints these herself. Look how adorable. And it's a lovely pink, of course. This is a great lounge top. So soft and cozy and lovely. Then I got some really lovely masks. I already have a pink spotty mask of hers, but I wanted this one that is sage green with spots, and she hand makes all of these, and they're made from cotton. And then this lovely floral one, which I thought was perfect for the summertime, if we're going to like the garden centre or, you know, out and about in the summer. So that's so cute. And then the last thing I got from her, which actually I need to actually go upstairs and put and use properly, is this little makeup brush holder. My makeup brushes are rolling around in my drawer, and I thought that it would be great to have the makeup brushes in here so that they're usable every day, but then if I go away, I can just roll it up and take it with me. And I really loved this print as well. It's so cute. So I'll leave her linked below. Go check her out and send her some support, because she's, you know, a female business, women owned, and doing amazing things. I'm gonna make lunch now, and then I'll answer some more questions for you, and yeah, I'll show you what I'm making for lunch. Actually, I don't know what I'm gonna make for lunch, but I'll show you what it is. So here is my lunch, even though it's not what I eat in a day. Got some of this Tafan smoked tofu, some cauldron falafel, some cocoa, deliciously mellow dairy-free alternative. This cheese is so nice. Some tomatoes, spinach, rocket, and pickled onions, and then some salad dressing. I'm gonna put a big dollop of hummus on there as well. Yum. Very simple, but I just can't be bothered to cook anything, and this will do. Next question, are you going to use patterned wallpaper like William Morris print? Yes, I am really looking forward to experimenting more with print and colour in this home. My aesthetic and sort of style has been very neutral up until this point. I think a lot of that is just instinctually I'm drawn to neutrals, but I also think a lot of it is kind of out of just that being my comfort zone and that being very easy, and I really think it did suit my style when I was designing and trying to plan the cottage. But this house, I just feel like will really shine if we have a lot of print and more colour in here. Like obviously my style's not going to suddenly go from being neutrals to being lots of bold patterns and colours, but I do want to bring more of that in there in a really sort of lovely way, and I really want to put wallpapers in the bedrooms and just have more, I don't know, I feel like the way it's decorated now with just our stuff unpacked, it's just a bit boring, and I feel like there's so much opportunity there, so I really am excited. And if you want to see where my inspiration is coming from, I do have a board on Pinterest with all the rooms sort of separated, so I'll leave that linked below, and you can see sort of inspiration for each of the rooms and some of the patterns and ideas I'm going for. I'm thinking lots of greens, lots of botanical prints, lots of floral prints, and sort of muted colours, so like pastels and sage green. Like this room though, I really want to go a bit more bold. I want to do an actual green, like an olive green or something, because I think that could be cool, but we'll see. But definitely going to experiment a lot more in this house. As you can see, we've got a new dog. Her name is Rosie. She's a short-haired Cocker Spaniel. We shaved Roxy 2 days ago, and she looks like a different dog. It's so funny. Usually we just trim her, because with Cocker Spaniels you usually don't like shave the back of their back, and you just sort of comb it, and then you trim the legs, trim the underside, just trim everything, and then sort of shave their face. But I just could not be bothered to do that, so I just thought, you know what, it's the summer, let's just shave it all off. And I think she's really appreciated it, because ever since we did it, she's like bouncing about, so I think she's really happy to not have long hot hair anymore. Another question that I thought was really good was, is there anything you miss about the old cottage and anything you're glad you don't still have to deal with? In all honesty, I don't miss the old cottage. I definitely am the sort of person who likes to move forwards, and if I was to start thinking about what I missed about the old place, then it would just get me down. And this house is just so much more suitable that as much as I have fond memories and we really loved living there, I don't miss the old house. The thing that I'm glad that we don't still have to deal with is the kitchen, number one, because it was like a dungeon. It was like a little corridor in terms of the lighting. Obviously it was a cute kitchen, but it was like a dungeon in terms of the light in there for filming videos. It was just so cramped. And also the ceilings, the height of the ceilings, Alex and I are both really tall, so having to we had to do a little limbo down the stairs and ducking into sort of rooms. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. It's lovely to have tall ceilings. And also the location, we're not living on a road anymore. Our old house was in the centre of a village, and so people walked on our path every day to go on their walks with their dogs, which is kind of nice, because it's like, oh, you're a part of the village and it's lovely, and it's, you know, if you want that, then that's great, and it's not like we're living on a busy street in a town or a city. But it meant that Roxy was barking all the time at people, and I always felt a little bit like people could kind of see in my home. And I love the fact that we are not on a road anymore, and it feels a lot more private and rural. So those are probably the main things. Let's take you outside and I'll show you some of the wisteria that's actually blossoming. Look at this one, always by the window whenever I come outside. Here you can actually see where it's starting to properly blossom, like the little flowers are coming out. Alex found this yesterday and it's made me so happy, I can't believe it. The rest looks like this, just the buds, which hopefully will start to do this soon, and then the whole thing will be gorgeous. Like you can see all the green coming out now. Oh, so exciting. So I'm just gonna sit here. Hopefully it's not too windy for you. There are a few questions like, do you have regrets buying the previous house? And also why we've moved so many times since I've been on YouTube, and whether this is our forever home. I would like to think that this is our forever home. I cannot predict the future, so things change, of course,
But yeah, I see this being our forever home. I don't have regrets about buying the previous house because in the UK at least, because a few people did say this, they said, oh, it seems unusual to me to buy one house, do it up and then move. It's a very normal thing to do in the UK. When you enter the housing market at a certain age, you can't necessarily buy the home that you want to see yourself in forever straight away because you can't afford it. So you have to get on the property ladder. You have to buy what you can afford at the time and then, you know, hopefully save up some more money, renovate, gain a little bit of profit, and then that's when you can buy another house. And lots of people do this. Again, yeah, it might be different in other countries, but that's quite normal in the UK. And our old house just wouldn't have suited us in the long term in terms of our goals for having children and what we wanted in our lifestyle and growing our own veg and having space for an extension and just being more remote. It just didn't tick all those boxes for the future. We originally had intended to stay there for a lot longer, but the pandemic just moved everything forwards. So no regrets, it got us to where we are now, and yeah, I have lots of fond memories in that old home and I learnt a lot, and it's going to really help us with renovating this house because that was teaching us and experimenting, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Sorry I'm squinting so much, but it is very, very, very sunny today, which is amazing. It's boiling. Alex is just hanging some washing up. I want to pop you down. Oh my gosh, look. If I pop you here, you can see Roxy in the background. That's so funny. Look at her. She's just watching. She can't stand that she's inside, but like I said, we're getting a fence done because the garden isn't fully Roxy proof yet. She loves to try and escape into our neighbour's garden and field, which is obviously not ideal. Tips for finding your forever home. I think that the main thing that we did was write down a list of our wants and needs and thoughts about everything in the future and how the home is now and how it makes us feel when we move in now, but also what we can expect to do to the house in the future and whether that fits all of those needs and wants. So I wrote a list. I knew that there were certain things that I wanted and this met most of them, but also you have to be flexible. How are you today, Alex?
Right, how are you?
Good. It's very sunny. I don't want to go inside.
Huh?
I don't want to go inside.
You don't?
No.
You don't have to.
Yes, I do. Look at Roxy. She's in the camera. You can see her there.
She's panting. She doesn't look very slick. We should get some more linen.
Yes. I am going to go inside and do some work and then I'll answer a few more questions later on. Probably only one or two more. I don't know how many I've answered so far. I feel like a lot of people had the same questions, so yeah, hopefully I'm getting through them all. I have just got back from walking Roxy. I'm ducking because I can't be able to set the tripod up properly. I picked some wild garlic while I was on my walk and I'm just going to make a stir fry. But I thought I would try and finish today's video with a last question and I'll wind this up. Luckily, a lot of the questions that were asked were really similar. So I'm answering most people's questions. So let's find a good last one. Okay, how do you research and find inspiration for your renovation ideas? I'm gonna pick you up whilst I'm stirring my mushrooms. Excuse this, I've got all the laundry hanging up above me. This seems to be a daily occurrence that I'm cooking whilst this is hanging above me, and sometimes I'm worried, I'm like, is my clothing gonna stink of food? It actually never does, which is good. When it comes to inspiration for the house or for interiors, I feel like, first of all, obviously, Pinterest, Instagram, magazines, of course, you get inspiration from seeing what other people have done, and that's a great place to put all of your inspiration into one place. But I also just think in general, when it comes to interiors, I'm quite a sensitive person. I'm very affected by my environment. And I've mentioned this before, and I find that the way my house is how I want to feel and how I want to experience things. I'm going back to probably
what I've always liked, and I've always liked old styles, I've always liked vintage styles, I've always liked rustic and sort of natural materials and colours, and maybe things that are a bit more on the girly side, like florals and that kind of thing. Lots of like natural things like nature, being inspired for interiors. I think I see interiors more than just like, oh, I live in this home and here's a nice wallpaper. I see it as a whole experience, because when I walk into a room, I often want it to feel like I'm in a story and I'm in a book, and it feels magical, and it makes me feel emotional, and it makes me have, you know, I don't know, a reaction to it. And if I was to speak to the next person, if I was to ask Alex about this, he wouldn't necessarily understand that, because he's different, and he would be like, yeah, no, this is a nice room, but that's kind of as far as it goes for him. But I feel like I've always been more visually affected and artistic and creative in that sense. Alex is very creative and artistic, but I don't know, maybe some of you understand, maybe some of you have the same experience with interiors, and I feel like that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from. It's kind of like, I've lived in houses before, and I've had flats before where I've just had hand-me-down furniture and had, you know, whatever is available to me, whatever I could afford, and it's made me feel a bit flat. And part of the reason I love interiors, and I love making everything look lovely, and why I'm going to spend time and money and energy doing this house is because it's all a part of what makes me happy in my life. And I think if I had a home where I walk into it and I feel inspired, and I feel like I'm living in a fairy tale world, even if it's just in a bedroom or in a small little living room, that is what will inspire me. And it's not just going on Pinterest or Instagram, it's books I read, it's movies I watch, it's going for walks, and it's all very like part of one thing. Maybe that was a really dramatic answer. Maybe some of you have the same experience, but interiors, I'm realizing as I get older, are just so important to me. I've always loved art, and I've always loved architecture, and that's why I did art history at university, and I think that interiors is a part of that. It's always inspired me, and it's always made me feel just that warm fuzzy feeling. So that's a huge part of my inspiration. But anyway, that was a very emotional answer to a very basic question, but maybe some of you can relate. I'm going to end the video here because I think it's quite long, and I will see you in my next video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Go follow me on Our Cornish Cottage for more home content. And soon, I promise, the food content will be back. I wanted to give myself time to adjust. The food content will come back, I promise. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I know I said that the video was over, but Alex just mounted the TV. Yay. This is temporary kind of, but
yeah. Well, we don't
got to fill those holes.
Oh yeah, we don't know what we're going to do with all this, but
it's up.
Sick of having a TV designed on the wall on the floor.
Go on, can you turn it on yet or not?
Hang on.
Yay, look at that. That looks so good. Thank you, Alex. It looks like a proper painting. Wow.
And you can do like the borders as well.
So cool.